My name is Usman Agabi, and I'm here to introduce a solution to one of the most pressing matters in our world today, desert encroachment. Our solution to it is an education app, and with the help of my team, Hanif, Zainab, and Abubakar, we would like to educate people about it. Also, educate people about desert encroachment. So, without wasting much time, let's dive in. So, what do we know about desert encroachment? Desert encroachment is whereby the desert is creeping into land it wasn't there before. So, the land is being devoured by the desert in layman's terms, and it's increasing. Keeps on moving, the desert keeps on creeping in, going into lands whereby it's you could farm on it, now you can't farm on it. So desert encroachment in northern Nigeria, this really matters to us because it affects a lot of things in our environment. It affects our agriculture, our livelihood, our food security, and a lot of things. And it's a really big issue. Our rural communities are relying on farming to live, and the desert is stopping that. And we need to educate people about it, and we need to tell people that this is a big issue. So, desert encroachment can also be called desertification. So, just to be sure, whenever you hear desertification, it's also called desert encroachment. So, the Sahara is expanding southwards due to climate change and deforestation. So, that means turning fertile land into deserts and force people to migrate from this place to the next because they can't farm there or they can't live there anymore because it's affecting their water supply, it's affecting their it's affecting their land they could farm on, and that leads to poverty. So leaving whatever you owned before, losing it to the desert and going to a place you have no land, no nothing. It's a big issue. And I hope with all this information we give or introducing our app will help reduce a lot of things. So before we move into the next slide or move on, I'll talk about the gap. There's a gap between our public and the knowledge about desert encroachment. People don't think about it as a very big issue. Desert encroachment is a very big issue, and we're losing our farmlands, and it's an issue. So that gap, we want to reduce that gap. The gap is the lack of knowledge or lack of accessibility to education about desert encroachment. So with the help of our app, we're trying to reduce this gap. So on moving on to the next slide, we have a little bit of a user persona here. So the user here is Ibrahim Buzu. He's from Yobe, he's 34 and he's a farmer. His tech comfort is high, prefers using mobile learning apps. So he could use apps on his phone. That helps us. And his goal is need practical solutions and real-time data to prevent land degradation. So emphasis on need practical solutions. So he needs solutions that could help him in his farmland, that could stop desert encroachment. He could learn about it, stop it, and give him real-time data to prevent land degradation. So the challenges he has is limited access to reliable data information. That gap I was talking about, that access to having not having access to reliable data and information. A gap we're trying to breach it. And Ibrahim Buzu is one of the people that needs this app in general. So moving on to the next slide. That's research. The research we conducted. So the research we had is that over 580,000 kilometers squares of Nigeria's total land is affected by desertification. So desertification is also called desert encroachment, like I said earlier, and which this accounts for over 63.8% of our country. And the desert is advancing, and it's advancing at a very strong rate at zero point 0.6 kilometers, that's 600 meters per year. So, and it's becoming an issue. It's leading to losing over 351,000 hectares of cropland and rangeland annually. Uh, that's a big issue. Also, down our research, we also found out that Nigeria is losing about approximately 350,000 hectares every year. In monetary terms, that's over $5.1 billion. I don't think anybody, any company, any country would like to lose $5.1 billion a year. you go up to a country or a president today and you say, Mr. President, you're losing $5.1 billion a year. You'll be wondering why and how. You tell them desert encroachment. Desert encroachment is you're losing 350,000 hectares and you're also losing $5.1 billion in money, in monetary terms each year. We also conducted a little bit of research again across other countries, the rate of desertification compared to others. Our rate is over 150 right now, and the highest is Peru, which is clocking over 200 compared to China. China is around 120. These are the desertification rate yearly. This is how they are losing their land to desert yearly. So next slide is going to talk about solution. Our solution. Our solution is educating people. So we chose this because a lot of people have lack of access to the natural or not natural, usable information or data-driven information about desert encroachment. So they lack the knowledge of it. They lack access to real-time information on desert encroachment and how it impacts their farmland. So it's really a big issue and people don't know about. So our solution is here to address a lot of challenges faced by small-scale farmers in northern Nigeria. So we know that they don't have information about desert encroachment, or they don't even know about desert encroachment. So without the knowledge, they struggle. They struggle to make informed decisions. The only first thing they will do is like, okay, this land is done. We're going to move. We're going to start all over, and it's not worth it. So this decision is really bad. So they don't even know what crop to farm. They don't even know the crop selection, suitable farming practices. They don't even know what to do. And desert encroachment is causing a lot of problems like this. So our approach is effective because it combines education and practical tools. So we're going to use tools, and we're going to, at the same time, we're going to educate you. We'll give you practical tools to empower the farmers to track their environmental changes, give them preventive measures by leveraging data-driven insights such as satellite monitoring, analysis, spatial analysis, and mapping. So we aim to help farmers adopt and safeguard their livelihoods. So additionally, by promoting sustainable and land management practices, our solution fosters long-term resilience uh, desert desertification, also known as desert encroachment. So on the next slide, we're going to give you a little bit of features, key features on our app, a wireframe about it. Okay, so solution to it. This is our wireframe about it. These are some of the key features about our app. We have you can create an account there, the sign up page. You have your name there. You can put in your email, password, your occupation. You could be anybody. You could be a farmer, you could be a driver, you could be a maid. You could know that, okay, yeah, I don't need to be a farmer to know about desert encroachment, but you could also be educated to about it. Anyone could learn about the desert encroachment. We have the welcome page, welcome you there. And one of the key features in it is be able to map your farm. The app will help you map your farm. It help you know where your farm is and know which part is being affected. If you map it out properly, you could check for your desert. You could check for desert encroachment. You can notice that, okay, yeah, the desert is creeping in on this part of my farm. So what can I do to stop that? After you've mapped it, then you can now analyze the data. Then you can now discover better practices to stop that or to farm. If you need help, we can provide that. There's a support page there. Just click on it to give you every bit of support you need. So without wasting much time, moving to the next slide, showing you our needs and pain points. Our needs. What do we need? We need desert encroachment risk detection. We need to be able to detect it. We need to be able to detect desert encroachment. We also need climate change education in native languages. We need to be able to educate people about climate change in their native languages. In Nigeria, we have three prominent languages. I'm sure everyone knows about them: Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. But Nigeria has over 200 plus languages, and that's going to be a problem. But we also need, and most people know the three major languages, and also English. So we're good on that part, but we need a lot of native languages to be able to translate all this information about the game into their native languages. We also need a land vulnerability detection tool. We need to be able to find out which part of the land is vulnerable to it. So with desert encroachment, we need to be able to have a tool to be able to do that. We need to customize recommendation. We need a customized recommendation. We need people to use that, customize their recommendation, and give it to us. So this is what I want. Not every farm is the same. Every farm goes through a lot of differences. And we need everybody to customize his own and give us back that feedback. We need to be engaging, easy to understand, and learning resources. And we need regular updates. People need to be showing us that, okay, yeah, this is what's happening after doing this, using this tool. This is what happened. Our pain points. Okay, now this is where our users in general will have pain points. So we need my users should be able to, sorry, we need pain points. My users should be able to detect if their land is prone to desert encroachment. So they need to know, and they need to have easy access to detect it. Okay, this part of my land is being affected by desert encroachment. We need to know that. They need to know that. The users need a way to learn about climate change in native languages. So they could just click on the app, or I understand only Hausa, Hausa. Or you could pick from the beginning, you speak Hausa, it's in your native language already. You want to learn about climate change in your native languages, and you could easily navigate the app in your native language and you could click, okay, this is what desert encroachment is. Okay, there's a gradual creeping in of the land into of the desert, sorry, into places where they weren't there before. So that's what desert encroachment is. So this is affecting me. Okay, now I can understand. Also, the users need a way to access climate change education that is engaging and easy. They need to be able to access climate change information that is very easy to understand and is engaging. They'll be so excited to learn about it because the ones that are right now they are too robust and they're complex and they are boring. So you need to find out that's what their pain points are. So moving on to the next slide, that will be insights from our user feedback. The feedback we got from showing them the wireframe that we created with our team created, and we got some recommendations from the users. We have offline functionality for farmland tracking. So they need to have, like, if there's no internet, they could just use that app offline to track it. So implement an offline mode that allows farmers to access previous downloaded farmland data, climate insight, and educational content without internet connection. Multiple language support. We need the app to be able to support multiple languages. Implement ownership verification that giving an ID to every map land so that nobody could claim anyone's land. Simplify mapping processes. We need to be able to simplify the mapping process. It shouldn't be complex. We give them steps, guidelines, tutorials with visual clues on how to map your land. Introduce auto detect feature that helps users outline their land using GPS. That's fair. Those feedbacks were really, really important to us, and we really appreciate it from the people we assigned. We tested them out. We tested the wireframe out. So moving on to the next one, our future plans for our solution. So one of the future plans for it is to integrate AI. Integrate AI with funding. We could enhance our data-driven tools by expanding satellite monitoring and also adding AI-powered predictive analysis. So so that we can launch a user-friendly mobile app for our farmers. It could be anybody, like I said, anyone can register, but mostly to our farmers, so that I could have one. And also, we need to have partnerships with NGOs and government agencies. We have partnerships with government agencies too. So we're hoping, we're hoping we can have all these partnerships because funding will really help. But we need people to understand desert encroachment is a really big issue in Nigeria today, and we could go globally. this thing could go global because we've seen China, Peru, countries that have been affected by desertification and desertification. So moving on, moving on is why the solution matters. Like I said, our farmland, we are losing over 350,000 hectares of our farmland. In monetary terms, we are losing $5.1 billion. That is an issue because it's affecting a lot of people. Our solution matters because we need the solution. Because if not, we keep on losing those farmlands, that same amount of uh, money, and also food security will go low. We'll lose our farmland productivity, a lot of things. We need the solution. Our solution matters because all these things are issues, and if we could reduce that to the barest minimum, it will really solve a lot of issues. So we'll be able to provide all these things. We're able to provide, sorry, by providing accessible data-driven platform, this solution empowers farmers with real-time insights, land mapping, and climate education. So enabling them to make informed decisions also helps them to make informed decisions. It also fosters land ownership security. Like I said, you can map out your land and you can know, okay, this land is mine. And also support solutions to food security, economic stability. Ultimately, this solution could really help a lot of land, help a lot of people, and also help the country in general, even globally. Yeah. Globally, help with climate change issues. So next is we have appendix. Appendix here. Desert encroachment impact on agriculture. Like according to United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, it shows that Nigeria has 60% of our land, that's arable land, affected in northern Nigeria. That is bad and is leading to reduced agricultural productivity and threatens livelihood because the northern part of Nigeria is where agriculture is. So 67% of Nigerians' workforce today is being employed by agriculture. And losing over 60% of arable land is an issue. People lose jobs. People lose jobs. Food will be expensive, and so on. If there's a successful land sorry, sorry, restoration, we have an example here. In Niger, a farmer-led restoration initiative restored over 5 million hectares. So he brought back 5 million hectares of land, increasing crop yields by up to 300%. That's high numbers and kudos to him. Improving food security to 2.5 million people. So this is just a farmer in Niger State who put it upon himself to restore 5 million hectares. Imagine now we'll be able to restore 5 million hectares everywhere. The numbers might not be the same in food security, improvement, or anything, but imagine you could approximately help increase food security for 2.5 million people. You do that on 5 farms, that's a lot of food, that's a lot of people you help. And you could combat this. This highlights how communities-driven efforts can combat desertification effectively. So if communities can come together, wake up, be educated about it, find tips or tools to be able to stop all these issues, desertification in general, Nigeria will bluster, will bloom again. So next on our appendix. So according to National Agency for Great Green Wall, 43% of Nigeria's landmass is threatened. Our landmass is threatened in the over 11 northern states. So the landmass of northern states are being threatened. So 43%, that's a high number. Who knows what half, but it's high. So, but our target demographic is the Minister of Environment, directors in different agencies, in Great Wall, our state governors, our local government chairman, and our climate and our climate force focused agencies, sorry, not agencies, NGOs, we need them to be part of this. We need them to be funded. We need them to uh, be aware, educated about it. That this is also an issue, and we need their help to be able to stop desertification in general. So moving on, like I said, I'll moving on to the next slide. It's coming up right now. Okay, so this is our wireframe for our app in general. This shows you more detailed information on our app. We're going to be able to zoom in a bit to show you that. Okay, like I said, this is our welcome page. Let me zoom in a bit to know that this is a sign up page. You could sign up here, your name, your email, your password, your occupation. You sign up easy, fast, reliable. The sign up page, clicking onto the sign up button to take you to the next page, the demo page. It's a demo page. This is just showing you how to navigate the app, where you could need, where you really need, where you really need to get your information, where you want to, in general, navigate the app. And also, this is the welcome page that we show the home page. Clicking on the application button, top left, you go into to drop down the application list where you want to either go home, you want to go back to the home page, your profile, your notification, articles to read. People there will put articles to read about how people are solving their disapplication problems or useful tips, people to use it, and the support button where you could contact us for help. So in general, like I said, we had key features. It's how you can map up your farm, to map up your farm. So this is the home page. Below displays the cards that will take you to the various pages containing what the app is used for. So this, when clicking on the home page, you go straight here where you could map out your farm. Map out your farm, you can see, shows you the whole farmland, shows you the whole area. Then you can map up your farm. We can give you tools. So you can map up your farm page here, clicking on the map your farm section on the home page takes you to the map your farm page. The user can now map their farm to digitize it and collect geopastal data. So next on the cards we have, you can check for desert encroachment. You can check for desert encroachment. You can see it here to show that, oh, this is what's really happening. Okay, I can check for desert encroachment. Sorry, let me just zoom out a bit to know. Okay, so yeah. As you could check for desert encroachment on your map, on the farmland or anything else. You could also analyze the data. You can analyze the data that I've taken. Then the app will help you analyze your data real quick and seamless. You could also have on the next few cards, you could discover better practices, how you could stop desert encroachment, the better practices you could use based on your farm, because not all the farmlands are equal. So not all farmlands are equal. You could know what's the best practice for your farmland. And also, if you need support, we have a support card page here. It shows you your profile. Let me zoom in a bit. Yeah, you can see your support page. You could contact us. You could contact us. You could check our profiles. Also resources. You could see how we could help you. So all this will be filled in. So we have resources. So if you click on the resources, we could show you how sustainable farming. What sustainable farming do you need? You can see it's in a different language. You can also afforestation tips and so on. So closing remarks. Desert encroachment is a really big problem. Emphasis on the really. And you think that it's not affecting me. I'm in a big city. It will affect you because if the rural areas there can't farm, lead to a lot of things. Some people are not used to coming to the city and they're not used to seeing them in the city. So a lot of people have issues. So not having farmland to farm not be able to live their normal lives, not be able to provide food that you need to be processed in the fine in different companies, provide you the food you also need. You have a lot of issues too. So educating people about deforestation, desert encroachment or desertification is really key. And I hope with this little presentation we had, this will really help. This will help enlighten people. This will also help boost partnerships with also the NGOs, government agencies, we're hoping, and stop desert encroachment in general. So I've been Usman Agavi with the help of my team. This is our little presentation about our app and also a little presentation about what desert encroachment is all about and how our solutions will really help and how desert encroachment is also a big problem. So without saying much, thank you. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.